What's up, guys? KamehaCon1994 here, going to talk to you about anything, you guessed it, Dragon Ball, from all to see and everything in between. And it is 6:55 in the AM right now, and as you can see, I'm driving, and that is to KamehaCon. We are on our way to KamehaCon. Got about an hour drive, so enjoy the ride. Guys, so we just got done waiting in line. We got our cool Ultra Instinct passes, if it will focus, and we got 2 prints, a shirt, and a KamehaCon bag. So we're gonna wait and try to see who we can meet up with and what we can see today. Okay guys, so we are actually hanging out, sitting in the car, and will be for the next couple hours because misunderstanding. I thought I was supposed to be here at 8 or 10 o'clock. I thought there was supposed to be some kind of little exclusive thing. No, everything starts at 2. So we're sitting in the car, we got our passes, our little bit of free swag from the event, got to meet a couple other YouTubers, which was awesome, say some hellos, and catch up with some people in person for the first time. So that was a great experience so far. Went to the cafe, got some coffee. Now it is time to wait for the convention for the next hour or two. I'm excited to see what all's gonna come from the actual event. The parking garage is packed. We were one of the first people here, but it's packed at this point. We've been here for a few hours, and I'm excited for the panels that are gonna happen. I know there's gonna be a bunch of good ones, so stick tuned for those. We will definitely have some segments from every single thing that I attend.
My honor and my pleasure to introduce to you, and I really would like y'all to stand for this one, please. From Japan, our honorable guest of the weekend, the voice of Vegeta. Saiyajin no Oji, Ryo Horikawa! Rio here, which I never would have believed it. Here we are 20 years later, and on a personal note, you know, I'm up here, and, you know, Dragon Ball as a franchise has created so many friendships. You know, I have a friend who's actually with me today who came in from Korea. He's stationed over there, and we became friends because we traded Dragon Ball tapes. And I'm sure there's probably tons of stories of everybody here who made friends through Dragon Ball, and I would have never believed this would have happened. And I can speak for everybody here, both the people who are running this convention, myself, and the entire community, that we are very happy that Rio Horikawa is here. And me as he's truly a legend, and I just want to close out with those thoughts that, you know, it doesn't matter if you prefer Kai or Z or, you know, Bruce Faulkner or Kikuchi or whatever, Tadayoshi Yamamoto and Yuya Takahashi, AJ. Doesn't matter who you prefer, but this weekend we should all come together as a family and be a family. So thank you. Thank you to all of you who came. Thank you, Mr. Horikawa. Thank you.
So we just wrapped up eating at one of the two lovely food trucks that were actually in the front of the convention center. Had some, well, I guess barbecue. I had a Philly cheesesteak. She had a brisket potato. She said it turned out pretty well. It's pretty good, you know, Philly cheesesteak for myself. So that's a good review on there. She says bomb, so that's good. We just got out before that of Danny's awesome panel intros and basically just the kickoff to actually KamehaCon. So that happened, but now it's time to go hang out with my YouTube friends now I'm done eating. So we will see if there are any adventures that happen later. Okay guys, so we're actually wrapping up day one of KamehaCon, so we will be back tomorrow, but we're going to go enjoy the rest of our night. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Good morning guys, and we are up and ready for day two of KamehaCon, and we have a little bit of a drive to go to get there, about 35-45 minutes and I'll be over there. But we have one mission for today. Since all three Vegetas are at KamehaCon, we're getting these signed today. I got my Vegeta, my Vegeta, my Vegeta, my Majin Buu, and my Trunks. So I plan to actually get all of these signed today and have for future videos. But yeah, the Vegeta panel, all three Vegetas, they're all going to be there. So we're definitely going to check that panel out and stay tuned for it in the future. There's a couple other cool panels that I should see today, and we might get some other merchandise, so stick tuned for that.
This actress plays both the youngest member of Goku and Chi-Chi's union, as well as the mother of the real youngest member, Pan. Please welcome, well, no, she doesn't, Videl, excuse me. She plays Videl. They have Pan, but whatever. Please welcome Kara Edwards. Up next, Videl's husband, the son of Son Goku. He plays adult Gohan, Kyle Hebert. Give me 1 second.
See, this is what happens, you know, now that I'm the wife and I'm in charge, unlike in the show where all I do is serve, I served him down in Kiliatis.
Gonna be out in a second. Well, in the meantime, let's introduce the mother, the matriarch of the Sun family. She plays Chi-Chi, Cynthia Grant. Next up, we're going to bring out the voice actress who plays Child Gohan in Dragon Ball Kai, Colleen Flinkenbeard. Well, when Gohan grew up, he was played by Kyle Hebert. He'll be out shortly. So, this next guest needs no introduction. No introduction, right? Provided his voice, his vocal talents to play our main character of Goku. He has
Testing, please. There we go. Sorry, dude. I just long intro for a 30-minute panel. I'm like, it's all right. It's all right. I'm thrilled to have made all the friends and family that I have made over the years. It's been a really.
I've been married to you longer than my real husband.
And I've been married more times than Goku. You know. I know I had to pull out a joke from somewhere, but that's a fact. All
right, so this one's kind of for all of you. I recently saw in the dub that Goku kind of doubled down on the statement that he never kissed Chi-Chi. I was wondering.
Controversy.
That got me so heated, bro.
That was in the script. I mean, that's. I mean, check the Japanese script.
They never kissed ever?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, he would mean.
I don't think
double
he knows where babies come from.
She totally had to trick him.
Oh yeah. She drugged him. She probably drugged him.
How do you feel about it?
She calls me to. Oh, I should say.
Too soon.
Too soon. Sorry. I'm sorry.
She would do that though.
been like a topic. You know, you've got franchises like Marvel, you've got characters like now Scarlet Witch, Black Widow, getting tons of love. You've got characters in Star Wars, you know, the past 3 major Star Wars films, Rey, Jenner, so I wanted to ask you guys, like, what are your thoughts on that? Like, kind of Hollywood really putting the focus on making everything even.
Love it. About damn time.
Woo! Well, and also I think even just in the Dragon Ball universe as a whole, like speaking as somebody who, yeah, I mean, Bulma played a really big part in, you know, Dragon Ball and all that, but Super, I'm sassy. Real sassy.
I noticed your clothes have changed. You've got a hot wardrobe these days.
Yeah, my shirt's a little tighter too.
Woo!
Sassy. Like, I love that she has no problem standing up to any of the stands up to Cell. She stands up to Frieza in the movie. She's constantly yelling at Beerus. Like, to me, that's really empowering because it's like, those guys, like, and you can see it in the animation, like, she yells, or Chi-Chi yells, and all the guys go, which is kind of the way it is in real life. So it's like imitating art. Again, that's what that's
How has the anime dubbing industry changed from like 99, 2000 to now?
Well, first of all, we were using VHS tapes.
Yeah.
And we were in our little whisper booth. They stuck you in a window and a TV on the outside of the window. So, and we had paper scripts.
Yeah.
And they have to rewind, and you added a retake. So actually, we made more money because it took me
Linda,
Yes.
how did it feel to play a villain, and how good does it feel to be bad?
Oh. I'm always good when I'm bad. Or when I'm good, I'm good. But when I'm bad, I'm better. May West from a long time ago. But yes, I liked playing the villain. I didn't even realize how much I liked it. But it got a lot of my, I don't want to say, well, maybe some anger. I was going through a bad divorce when I got to Frieza. So I got anger out of me, angst, anxiety. It made me be meaner.
It's cathartic.
Oh, so it was great. I loved it. Loved it. I guess the only time I really, well, sometimes I use voice on my kids, but I used to do a lot of murder mysteries, and you play with the audience doing the murder mysteries. So the director said, just turn around and start doing Frieza's voice to someone. So I said, all right. So I was like a sweet character like this. When I was playing in the part, I was like this, I forget what my name was. But when I turned around, I said, did you just pinch my butt?
Please, let's give a round of applause.
Yeah.
How many of y'all like Vegeta? Truly believe that Vegeta is the best and most beloved character in Dragon Ball. Welcome to our main event of Saturday, well, panel-wise, the Prince of all panels, where we're going to make history. You're all a part of history tonight, because we have not one, not two, but three genuine legends here in attendance. Vegeta is one of the most beloved, if not the most beloved characters in Dragon Ball, because he's one of the most relatable. All of us as human beings, we experience anger, we experience prideful moments, and then eventually we get past it, hopefully, and become great friends and great fathers and mothers to our children and great people. And Vegeta certainly has done that. Well, tonight we are blessed with not one, not two, but three gentlemen, legends in my opinion, who have portrayed the character of the Prince for the past 3 or so decades. Legitimately make history.
No running, folks. Please just take it easy.
We're bringing more people in, by the way, but I'm still starting the panel. So anyways, we are making history. This is the Prince of all panels, as we have 3 Vegetas who are going to share their wisdom and knowledge of portraying the Prince for all of us. So, without any further ado, it is time to bring them out. Are you ready? First, representing the Great White North, he has voiced Vegeta since 1996, and he's been on so many cartoons, I can't even list them all for you. The creator of over 9,000, really the OG of this character when it came to the English-speaking fandom. Please welcome, with love and admiration, Mr. Brian Drummond.
Yeah!
teamed up in-house, a great talent was found, one who is a man of many voices, and one of the voices of your childhood. A man who took over as Vegeta and has portrayed the character since 1999. Star of several Dragon Ball Z movies, every Dragon Ball Z, GT, and Super episode, who needs no introduction, an ambassador. He is the personification of Dragon Ball in the Western Hemisphere. Please welcome Christopher Savage.
This is the real standing ovation.
We've got the United States, and then of course there's Japan.
Nihon!
He has voiced in many video games and television shows, but I believe his Hall of Fame career will always be crowned as being the Prince of All Saiyans since 1989. Please welcome, with all of your love, Ryo Horikawa.
Worthy.
History making. How y'all doing?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. There's a lot of people here. I just can't get over that.
It doesn't matter what dub you prefer or which one you watch, it's history either way. So. So, I'm going to start with a kind of a simple question for all you guys. What is the one thing about Vegeta's character from beginning to end that you have taken sort of, and you're basically, what is the thing you admire most about the character of Vegeta?
Can I use my lifeline?
Strength!
I think the thing I love about Vegeta the most, the thing that I'm really proud of to be able to play this character,
Proud, ha ha ha.
is he has had the most change over the series of any other character. Hey, you're like, people are Vegeta more. And I go, well, okay, let's talk about Vegeta's backstory. He had a really crummy childhood. He was like raised by a king. It was a like horrible planet where they destroyed things and like, and it was taken over by someone else. The planet was destroyed. And then he kind of beat somebody. His son comes from the future. Blah 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 blah. And then he has a wife. And blah, and all these things happen to him. And then Piccolo, he comes from an egg. That's it. So it's just what I love about Vegeta is he's constantly adapting and he's becoming such a better person that it's hard to believe that at the beginning of the series, I have to remind myself and some people like, wow, you guys all, you let your kids want, like wear Vegeta shirts and stuff. That dude killed people. Like, he killed Nappa just for sucking or something. I think so it's just his ability to kind of adapt and change just to become a better person is what I love about him.
As a performer, and I don't know, I can speak for everybody. For myself, what I love is a character that has nuance. So a villain or a hero, someone who's always the same, always just a badass, the bad guy, is not nearly as interesting as a performer. as a character that has nuance, that has change, and that was the first word that came to me, and you basically explained it, is there's change and a journey, that you want them to start somewhere and go somewhere, and that's always so much more exciting to me, and then you get sucked in, drawn into what's happening to them, when they're struggling, when they're in pain, when they're filled with anger, when they're filled with pride, when they want to fight, when they want to run, and with Vegeta, it's all there. And that's what's so fun to play a character like that.
かもしれませんけれど、どんどん成長していく人としてというか、そこが素敵だなと思いますね。最初は本当にすごくヒールな技術だったんだけど、どんどんそれが変わっていって人間的に成長していって、自分のためにしか今まで戦ってなかったのを初めて家族を守る、あるいは他の人を守るために戦うという、どんどんそういう方向に変わっていくところにやっぱり魅力を感じると思います。
I feel the same as Brian and Chris, that the growth that he had was wonderful. I guess the most wonderful thing about his character. And he grew as a person, and he also grew in his strength as well. He started out as such an evil guy, and then he evolved into someone who wasn't just fighting for himself anymore, but fighting for others, fighting for his family, fighting to protect things. So that was a really wonderful thing to portray.
We know that Mr. Sabat watched Mr. Drummond. My question is, Mr. Drummond, did you ever get a chance to watch back then Mr. Sabat's performance of Vegeta after you had done it first? And then my other question is, Mr. Horikawa, when did you first check out any of the English dubs?
That light keeps falling off on him. It's happened like 8 times.
That's an excellent question.
You better answer this well.
Yeah. Well, anytime a role moves away from you to someone else, a performer is bound to be curious as to how it all comes together. And knowing that Chris initially had to copy to his best ability what I was doing, I don't know if I thought he did a very good job. When it's your own voice and you hear someone else doing it, you don't know if it sounds the same as what you're doing. I will say, I love what Chris does right now with Vegeta. And had I thought of a voice anywhere near as with what you do, I would have done it in a heartbeat. But I can't do that voice, so I had to go with something far more princely, I would say. But I you know what? Everyone always wondered, what was it like? Was it pretty ticked off? No, I was a working guy. I was working on other shows, and I was just, after when I first heard some of the work, I was pumped that it was still good. I think I was more worried that it was going to be, the show was going to be bad and falter and not be any good. But everything I've seen of it, I've loved. The fan base for years I've loved, and it's just been a hoot to be a part of it. Absolutely.
Oh, sorry. I watched the Canadian version, obviously, because I had to copy this guy. And for many years, I had 2 layers of trying to be humble about this role. Because there was the Japanese layer of, well, I'm not the original Japanese voice. And then there was this layer of, well, I'm not even the original English-speaking voice of the show. And I was terrified because when we took over for the Canadian cast, we were just this tiny little studio in North Texas, kind of trying to throw something together. And we had taken these roles from veterans in this industry. I mean, Vancouver is just known for its stellar voice work. And so I was terrified of even trying to keep up with the legacy that he had already created for the character, and also not to freak out all the 6 and 7-year-olds who are watching the show that suddenly had all their voices changed. And it meant a lot to me when Brian came up. Like, I met him as soon as we got here, because it was the first chance I've ever gotten to meet him in person. One of the things he said to me was like, "Man, you did a pretty good job copying me. How long did it take you before you decided you weren't going to do that anymore?" And was it like a conscious change, or did you just change it because it just sort of fell down or something? It just sort of dropped and got closer to your voice. And I told him that it was my conscious effort to kind of go from copying someone to actually playing a character, because it's way, I just didn't want to end up spending my entire life copying the same voice. I wanted it to be something that I could really work with. And if I have to copy something and act on top of that, it's just an extra layer that you didn't need. So I did. And if you can compare Vegeta, a picture of him from the beginning of the series, to a picture at the end of the series, you can tell he goes through a powerful transformation. He grows like testicles between his eyes. Yeah, it was a huge shoes, and I started hearing his voice when we started working on the games, because originally we were recording in a vacuum. We never got to hear the original voices. But then I was like, oh, darn it, this guy's amazing too. And yeah, I've always had such reverence for Yo, and I've heard all of his performances on every game and every show since like 2002, and it's always an honor to be around him.
やっているベジータがドラゴンボールが見たことあるんですけれど、最初やっぱり全然違うタイプですよね、声としてはね。でもそれをずっとこう聞いているというか、芝居を見ていると、シリーズを見ていると、どんどん昇華、難しい言い方すればいい意味で変わっていく。でどんどんそれがオリジナルになっていくっていうことをすごく感じるので、そこらがやっぱり素敵だなと思います。オリジナルになっている、自分なりのオリジナルになっている、自分のものになっている。
So I've actually seen Dragon Ball in English before, and although the voices are very different, they're very different in a very good way, and they both turn them into their own voices, and it's a really fantastic thing that we're able to do. それぞれの彼ら2人のものにベジータをしているということだから生きているんだなと思います。They both took Vegeta's voice, made it their own, and make him come alive.
There's so much mutual respect here. It's awesome. So, personally, though, real quick, it's crazy that Stacy there and I, we've been watching this series since the mid-90s, and we're here in this big kind of vegetable sandwich.
Yeah.
It's just a piece of bread on a piece of bread and vegetables in the middle. It's just crazy. And we're here. So, this is for all of you. You have a great body of work. Every actor up here has a tremendous resume that speaks for itself in different things too, you know, not just Dragon Ball, tons of different shows. Is Vegeta your favorite character you've ever voiced? And if not, who is it?
That's a loaded question for this audience. Well, Vegeta, of course. Of course it's Vegeta. Do you guys prefer honesty or that I lie to you?
Just lie to me, man. Lie to me.
Vegeta is one of my all-time favorite characters in animation. But not one of my all-time favorite characters to voice because of how difficult it was and is, for those still doing it, to do. It is extremely taxing and very hard on the vocal cords. When a Dragon Ball session would show up on my calendar from my agent, it was usually something like, that's what my head would do. And when, how long? You have 2 sessions of Dragon Ball Z next week. Oh, God. Can you put them on a Friday so I can have Saturday and Sunday to recuperate? That's sort of where I sit with Vegeta.
Yeah, he said it. It's really hard. It's so, I guess, maybe you're probably aware of that. And I know going into a session that it's going to take all of my, all the power I have to even get through it sometimes. But as a character, like, it's hard for me to compare it to anything because who else other than like some of the most famous iconic characters in animation gets to play a character for 20 years. Like anyone who thinks that he just like went away is wrong because there was video games, there was recuts, and there was the orange boxes, the yellow boxes, the kind, and so Vegeta's never left. And it's also hard for me to separate how Vegeta has impacted my life in general, like me as a person, like my whole, I don't even know who I would be now. Like my whole identity is connected with that character. I'd be nobody. I'd be nobody. You're right though. I don't know what I would be.
まあ役者っていうのは自分がやった役っていうのは愛さないとできないものなんですよ。どんなキャラクターであれ。でもちろん全てのキャラクターを愛してるっていうのはすごくかっこよくは聞こえると思うんですが、まあクリスが言ったようにもう何年も何十年もやってるともう離れられないというか、どうしてもそういうなんていうかな長寿番組になってくるとそこから離れることができないので、もうどうしても付き合わなきゃいけないわけですよ。何十年も一緒になんか生活を共にするみたいな感じで、そうなると他のキャラクターは大事にやってるつもりなんですけど、各作品のどうしても何十年もやってるってなるとそこから離れられないんで、必然的にもう好きにならずにいられないというか、付き合いが長いですからだからまあ人生の一部と言いますかね、そんな感じですかね。
As an actor, I don't think you can play a character unless you really love them. So of course I love all of the characters that I play. Though with Vegeta, we've been a part of each other for so many decades now that I just can't separate myself from him. So he's just so much a part of my life, and I feel like we both grew up in all these decades that I've been playing this role. And so yeah, so it's been just such a long time, and it's always going to be a part of my life.
Almost 32 years.
Vegeta is one of the coolest characters ever. I played Dr. Claw. I played Wolverine. I played Venom. And Vegeta, honestly, he's still at the top.
I mean, I don't have to explain why this scene was great, but just the moment where Vegeta does sacrifice himself, puts his arm around his son. I'm sorry, you have to have a heart of stone to play Vegeta, but it crushed me, man. Like, it just crushed me, and it was a difficult, emotional recording session, because back in those days, we were working so hard to get the show on TV every week that we didn't even know what was happening. We didn't even have the materials up until the end of the show. So I didn't even know what was going to happen to Vegeta as things went along. So it was when he became a Super Saiyan, I was like, oh wow, that's awesome. And I think in a way, it's kind of the way that Rio got to experience the series, because he didn't know what the future was going to be either. We've had conversations about this. Like, one of the funniest things he ever said to me was, man, when I first started working on the show, I didn't even know if I was going to make it 20 episodes because people die in this show. So, yeah, man, it's that was probably my favorite scene. Yeah, easily.
そうだな、僕もやっぱりここではっきり変わったと思うんです。今までのベジータっていうのは自分のためだけに戦ってきた、自分が強くなるためだけに戦ってきたから、初めて家族を守るために自分を犠牲にして生きてる。そこら辺がもう変わりつつあるというか、今までのヒールだっただけの男が初めて人のために犠牲になるということをした戦いだと思うんです。最初のマジンブームみたいな感じだと思うんだけど、そういうところが一番好きかな。で、あとそういうこと言うならばやっぱりトランクスにお前を抱いたことがないから抱かせてくれというところが一番好きです。シーン的には。
Like Chris, I had the same scene where Vegeta sacrificed himself against Majin Buu. At that time, we saw his heart change from how he'd been before. The first time, he wasn't just fighting for himself, he was fighting for his family to protect people. And so he made that sacrifice, and especially at the moment when he said to Trunks that I've never held you before, let me hold you now, that was really amazing. Really enjoyed that.
So I could talk to these guys all night, but I'm not allowed to. We can't be here all night. But before we close out the Prince of All panels, I would like a special request from Mr. Drum, Mr. Saban, and Mr. Horikawa. We've seen you guys kill your vocal cords for decades and still live to tell about it. And we've seen Mr. Horikawa do Final Flash. But I want to do something a little bit different to close out this epic first, maybe last time ever, hopefully not, but it is the first time ever that you're all in the same room. Can we do a triple Big Bang Attack?
I mean, aren't we supposed to hear the Japanese reference at first?
At the same time?
At the same time. In fact, it would be cool if they could stand next to each other and put their arms out like they're going to really dance somewhere. Can we do that to close out?
Vegeta's the greatest of all time!
I'm up. Can I count you down? I'll do the 3 dots.
I'm gonna be following you, okay? Big Bang!
Round of applause for Vegeta.
How are you doing today, man?
How are you, dude?
Awesome. This is an honor, actually.
We're gonna pee together here?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Awesome.
I would love a pee with you.
It's a big moment for us both.
No, I do want to tell you just a quick story. I know you're rushed on top of
No problem.
My mom passed away about 6 years ago, and nothing you and, well, me and her both love you. You are our favorite character.
That's awesome, man.
I actually learned about the series because we lived in Okinawa, Japan, but we didn't have, yeah, and we had no fucking clue what they were saying, but we were like, this is awesome. My mom always loved the dude in the blue armor, and Vegeta, that person. And then we moved to the States, and we actually lived in Florida for a while at Cocoa Beach, and then we actually got stationed here in Fort Worth. And then I found out you guys were here in Fort Worth, all that other thing. I've lived here since I was like 11.
Oh, that's funny.
Actually, I've lived here since I was 7. And like, I just knew you guys have always been
How old are you
close.
now?
I'm 23.
Okay.
And I've been watching the show on, you know, I've been watching it nonstop since I was like 3 or 4 years old when I was in Okinawa. And
that's
like,
awesome.
And like, it's just an honor because like my mom would be so happy right now, like to me, because you're her, like, Vegeta was her love. She would like, if Vegeta was a real person, she would cheat on my dad. And my mom loved my dad to the end of the world, so.
Hold on 1 minute.
Oh no.
Oh, dude.
Oh my god.
What's your mom's name?
Tammy. Just T-A-M-M-Y.
That is awesome. You gotta take a picture now.
Yeah, I know.
Take a picture with that.
There you go.
up, guys? We're actually up and awake for day 3 of KamehaCon, and yeah, I'm pretty tired. I ended up going to the bar across the street, Bar Louie, and they had an after party yesterday. I got to hang out with some of my YouTuber buddies and some of the voice cast of Dragon Ball Z, and that was awesome. And yesterday I had some other things transpire. I don't know exactly what all I'm putting in the video yet, but you will see me with Brian Drummond and Chris Sabat at least. Rio is who I am going for today as the 3rd person to complete my Prince trilogy of pop signatures. So that was awesome. We'll dive more into that later, but just as a quick little show off, I did get both Drummond and Sabat to sign those 2 pops. My Super Signed Blue we will get today. And Chris Sabat did something very amazing with just no thought, I guess. I mean, it was just a second thing to him, and he actually signed a poster for my late mother as well as my other item, putting rest in peace with honor. Probably one of the greatest things that he could have wrote for her, so she would be very happy for that and very proud. So we're going to go get Rio's signature and have a great day. So let's head over to the convention center.
I had no idea what the other voices were at all. All I got was a character description. I don't even think I had a picture, to be honest. I don't even know if there's a picture of what I was auditioning for Vegeta. It was just a character description. He's this alien character, so I thought maybe he had 3 heads and 8 eyeballs. I don't know. He's from this strange planet, but he's a prince. So I thought, oh, maybe they need to be somewhat regal. He's got seriously big ego, bad attitude as well. He's very powerful. So but he's kind of diminutive. He's a little bit smaller. He's not the biggest guy. I'm like, oh. So I'm trying to visualize this, and I have no idea. So I pitched him up a little higher. You know, I tried to make him a little bit smaller and maybe a little more of a royal sound, and then a twist of the ego, and then that's where I just took a stab at something and I went, yeah, we'll use that guy. And that's how I got that role.
Asian action movie. I'm like, okay. And I go, do we have the script or anything? He goes, no, they're going to give it to you when you get there. And I'm like, okay. So the whole directors behind the glass, they're all, I say Asian in the sense of very thick accents, you know, flew over from Asia to direct this person. Their English wasn't strong. So I get there, and there's still, I get in the room, and there's still no script. And they would play a clip. It was a really bad action movie. You know, like guys firing guns. It's like,
Spike the head of that boy. Who screams all the time? What is the matter with you?
Debate about what is this farming? I'm not exactly sure, but whatever it is, I'd have someone like Rolf and his fine family do it for me. I am a prince after all.
Oftentimes we sprinkle Nana's dandruff on the fields. And it helps the turnips grow large.
I don't understand much of what him or his family says, but they work hard.
hold the mic for you while you do your thing, and then.
How about? How about you record some of
Dude, we were up till 4 a.m. last night. Come on.
Hold the mic for them.
What I like most about your performance on the show is you were like, Gallic gun fire! Fire!
table signing things and things like that, but I just wanted to fire out a few. These are badges, Goku badges. I signed them. I'm gonna fire these out the crowd. Please keep it. Just
Don't fight over them.
Don't fight over them. Don't hurt anybody. Watch your eyes. But no fighting.
All right, thanks. And one more time for Danny, just kissing it all weekend. If you want these guys to come back next year, Buck Scott McNeil, give me a hell yeah. Hell yeah! Thank you.
They dream about going up there. Right here on the ocean floor. What is you looking for? Under the sea. Under the sea. Darling, it's better. Down where it's wetter. Take it from me. That's nasty. I can't do it though because they're here. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the voice of Frieza and Majin Buu, Linda Young, Josh Martin. One of the things I wanted to see in that movie, it was just me, before it came out, is I wanted to see Frieza fight Majin Buu. Because Buu was a good guy, Frieza was coming back. It's like, wow, it's like almost a video game fight. They never met. What might that sound like if Frieza and Majin Buu met?
Who the heck are you? What's wrong with you, weird purple person? Where'd you get a voice like that? Candy! Oh, I like candy too! Turn you to chocolate and eat you! Take this! Excuse me! May I present the undisputed, undefeated, universal champion of the world, Mr. Satan! Die, you filthy, insolent monkey!
I think I got a real strong laugh that helped everyone know I was Frieza. Do you want me to do the laugh?
Yes!
I think every Frieza laugh is...
Yeah, right. I'm misunderstood, guys. All right? I'm just hungry. I just want some candy and chocolate. Right? The sooner you guys figure that out, the better off everything will be. We're not going to call you.
Me, you are!
That's one thing that my son, that's what that's. But you know what?
When I wrote my books, you can see all my books here, I used the original Japanese source material written by Akira Toriyama so that nothing is lost in translation. And I think that's the real key to understanding a culture is, in order to understand a culture, you have to speak the language. Otherwise, something gets lost.
A lot gets lost.
A lot gets lost. Yeah, more things get added, like references to cowboys and surfers and stuff. So now that we know what culture is and where it comes from, let me just introduce myself a little bit. My name is Derek Padula, also known as the Tao of Dragon Ball.
Woo!
Oh, thank you. I have a website called thedaoofdragonball.com, which I started in 2007. Got over 200 articles about the Buddhist and Taoist culture in Dragon Ball, also the fandom, interviews with the voice actors and the composers, like Nathan Johnson and Mark Lambert. And I now have 8 books available here, paperback and hardback. My first one was Dragon Ball Z, it's over 9,000, all about Goku and Vegeta and their inner psychology. You know, what makes them the greatest rivals in anime history, and how do they keep helping one another grow to higher levels. Then I wrote Dragon Ball Culture. It's a cultural tour guide to Dragon Ball, and this is what we're going to be talking about in this panel today. The over 5,000 years of East Asian culture and the 3,000 years of Western culture that Toriyama fuses together to create the Dragon Ball that we all know and love. And there's 7 volumes in this series, and it took me 15 years to do it. Just to really understand, I had to get a degree in East Asian Studies, go to China, train with the Shaolin monks, learn Kung Fu, how to speak Chinese, how to meditate, and I brought all that back home, and then I put it into these books, so you guys don't have to go do that. It'll save you a lot of time. Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. I also am the screenplay writer and co-creator of Dragon Ball Z Light of Hope.
Woo-hoo!
And what else have I done? Oh, I got an apology from the screenplay writer of Dragon Ball Evolution. He said, I'm sorry, I dropped the Dragon Ball.
I think I heard about that.
Yeah, well,
I read that.
Without Dragon Ball, we wouldn't have Funimation. Funimation was the first series that first series that they picked up, and it built the entire Funimation house. Gen Fukunaga has said many times that he owes the company to Dragon Ball, and because of that, we got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of other anime. Chris Sabat has been in over 500 roles. He has his own recording studio, and it's all due to Dragon Ball. It's changed the lives of all the people in Dallas. And now Dallas is a hub for voice acting. It used to just be LA and New York. But Dragon Ball made it here in Dallas, and that's absolutely amazing. And we just celebrated the 30th anniversary, which is why I wrote this book, Dragon Soul, 30 Years of Dragon Ball Fandom, featuring stories from 81 fans just like you across the world in 25 countries talking about how Dragon Ball changed their lives, inspired them to become painters, teachers, philosophers, YouTube stars, collectors, or just to fight back against the bullies that were picking on them in high school, which is what happened to me. I was a nerd, I loved DBZ, and they pushed me into lockers and beat me up. It made me so depressed that I wanted to kill myself. And one day I almost did. I put a knife to my wrist, and I looked in the mirror, and I said, this is it. This is the last time I'm going to see myself in the mirror. But then I thought, Goku wouldn't do this. Goku perseveres. Goku always pushes forward, no matter how hard it is. So I can survive one more day. Yeah. And that day became decades. And now here I am.
Woo!
So it is truly a series that changes the world. And another thing I really want to convey about the culture of Dragon Ball is that it's something that is inherited and then passed on. If you remember one thing about culture, it's that it is inherited and passed on from one generation to the next. So the way that Akira Toriyama created Dragon Ball is by inheriting the culture of his environment. He's a product of his environment. Japanese culture, traditional Chinese culture that was exported to Japan, modern Western culture from America that had occupied Japan post-World War II, and all of the media that he'd absorbed through television and cinema, namely Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee, Terminator, Aliens, Blade Runner, all these films that influenced his work, and we see examples of in Dragon Ball. And then we as fans absorb Dragon Ball into our minds and our hearts, and that becomes part of our body, and that we pass on to the next generation. So when we're giving it to our children, we're watching it with them on the couch, or we're sitting with our friends, or our nephews or nieces, or anybody else that we meet on the adventure of life, we are conveying Toriyama's culture, we're conveying our culture, and all of us are inheriting it. And then in the future, they will do the same. So that's a really powerful aspect of Dragon Ball's culture. And another important thing is that each of us has our own personal experiences with Dragon Ball, but we also have a collective shared history. And even though we come from all over the world, I come from Michigan, some of my friends here came from Florida, others from North Carolina, some came from London and Puerto Rico. You know, we've all come to this convention because it is proof that Dragon Ball changes lives. And now we can all talk with one another in this shared language that is Dragon Ball. And I think that is an absolutely amazing thing.
So that was KamehaCon, guys, all 3 days from May 4th to May 6th, and we made it. We got our missions accomplished, and just going through the small amount of footage that I have so far, I've realized that this video is sitting at well over an hour, so I wanted to first start off by thanking you guys ever so much for just sticking around and seeing how the weekend went. There was a lot of things that weren't put into the video, but I hope I got a good representation of what the con was, and I hope it was entertaining for you guys. I also need to thank you guys for just straight up subscribing to the channel, because without YouTube, the opportunities that I had this year at KamehaCon wouldn't have happened. I was able to meet a lot of my internet friends for the first time in real life, and the only reason I have those internet friends is because of YouTube, and the only reason I think that I had literally the best time of my life was the combination of both things that happened at the con and things that happened outside of the con. Even though this took place inside my state and a lot of my friends were coming here, and I was able to show them a lot about my local area, they were able to just give me insight and just show me a lot of things this weekend that were very humbling and actually have motivated me quite a lot. So I just am overly gracious for that, and I want to thank every single person that I got to meet, talk to, or hang out with this weekend. I'm not going to name every single person. I'm also probably not going to name anybody at all, because I would feel obligated to name everybody, and I really don't want to do that. So anybody that I hung out with or talked to, I just want to let you guys know that I am so thankful for meeting you and also getting to experience the very first Dragon Ball convention and my first convention with you guys. I don't know, I'm very happy about this weekend. It's done a lot for me. It meant a lot to me, and I don't know. We'll see where it goes from here, and we'll definitely see you guys next year, as long as they continue to do a KamehaCon next year, and the year after that, and the year after that, like I hope they do. But I just want to let you guys know that you shouldn't miss out on the next one. It was worth it, and honestly, I feel that it was a once-in-a-lifetime experience that we had this weekend. A lot of people in the community, I think, feel that way. Going in it, we thought maybe there may be some problems. We know how people like to talk on Twitter back and forth, but at the convention, it was very positive. Everybody seemed to get along in my eyes from what I saw. But yeah, I do not miss the next one, because even though, again, it can't be recreated, the next one's not going to be bad. It's going to be great. So to move past all of my rambling, again, I just want to say it was the best weekend of my life. I got to get my pop signed, and I'm back home and ready to make a lot more content with you guys. And I hope you guys stick around. I really do. I want you guys to comment down in the comment section below what you liked from KamehaCon, or at least my KamehaCon video. Something that you wanted to do if you came, or maybe next year a panel that you want to see, or just anything Dragon Ball. Put it down in the comment section below. I want you guys to leave a like, especially if you made it through the whole video. I know somebody would only watch the whole video if they actually liked it, so please leave a like. For some reason, if you aren't subscribed and you watched all of this footage, I hope maybe I was able to get you to want to subscribe, and if not, maybe go check out my channel and try to find out some more videos and see if there's something that sparks some kind of interest in my channel. And I hope you guys stick around, because I'm definitely going to be putting out more and more content with more and more people. I made a lot of connections at the actual convention, so it's going to be a lot of awesome stuff coming in the future, at least in my head. Hopefully it will come out and be a tangible thing in the real world. But again, thank you guys for sticking around, supporting me, and the most important thing is make sure you guys have a great day. I want you guys to always be happy and know that at least in this area we're trying to bring you up, not bring you down. We're trying to keep that KamehaCon feeling over here instead of having the post-con depression like we've had for the past few days, or at least anybody who was in our group, because I know it hit everybody pretty hard. But thank you guys. Have a great day, and as always, I will catch you guys next time.